Hello, everyone. Thanks for tuning back in once again to the original Queen Ahmadiyyah Shakur show. I'm your host, Queen Ahmadiyyah Shakur, and this is your daily vitamins. As you're coming in, please feel free to go ahead and subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already. Be sure to click that notification bell and click the word all so you're notified each time Queen Goddess goes live. Don't forget to follow me on Instagram at Queen Ahmadiyyah Shakur. You can also follow the Queen Ahmadiyyah Shakur fan page on Instagram and Twitter. You can also follow me on Twitter at DGoddess27. All right. Hello, Idris. 52 Orium, Patah Amin Ra. All right, Warrior Status. Silent D is in the house. Pearly, Mr. Hotel. All right. AM, Danielle. Howard is in the house. Lillian, Lakiva, Mark Ayers from the UK. All right. Lillian, said Lillian. True Justice. Hello, beloved. Dragon Lily. All right. So with that all being said, I see you, Just Biz, the Godfather, Deneen, Lawrence, 444. Dawi's 1000. Shout out to everyone in the chat and everyone tuned into the Queen. All right, everybody. Maestro Dan, Vince, I am from the UK, my new moderator. So everyone, please get those likes up. Hello, BGR Headquarters is in the house. Miss Kim. Okay, DeCarlo H. Blackfoot, I see you, beloved. So everyone, please make sure you like and share. Come in, like it, and share in the video. All right, with that all being said, hello, Pauline, beloved. Glad to see you back in the chat, Pauline, honey. My nefarious moderators accidentally blocked you. Shame on them. Okay, so that all being said, let me remind all of the moderators, do not block or hide anyone from the channel unless they say something racist, something violent, like threatening or whatever, something vulgar or profane. All right, other than that, do not, hey, Ramses. Okay, so other than that, do not hide or block anyone from the chat unless they do any of those four things. Let me say it again, so just so we're clear. Unless they say something violent or threatening, right? That's the same thing, threatening, violent. Anything vulgar, that means anything inappropriate, like sexual things like that or whatever. Any of those bots that come in here with the little sex numbers and all that stuff, any of that, block that. Profaned, right? Any of those things and anything racist. Okay, so let's get into it. And everyone watch what you say. That's right. Vince said, I understand I'm in training queen. Absolutely, beloved. That's why I'm reiterating what to do. Okay, no problem. So everyone, please watch what you put in the chats. Hello, Mr. Mystical Black Realms. Don't put anything, too nefarious in the chat. Like, don't say anything racist. Don't say anything racist. Don't say anything violent. Okay, if you want to clown wig, feel free to do so. Hashtag buy wig. Okay, you can put that. You can also put hashtag buy Bishop Whitehead if you want to, because I'm so sick of him. But anyway, before we get into Bishop Whitehead and wig with the nefarious selves, let's talk about the rapper Mystikal. He's been arrested and he's being held without bond. Now, he's accused of rape without the G. Domestic abuse charges in an Ascension Parish. This happened in Ascension Parish. So let's get into it. They say New Orleans-born rapper Mystikal, whose real name is Michael Tyler, who's 51 years old, was arrested and booked into the Ascension Parish jail on several charges over the weekend. Officials say the judge is currently holding Tyler without bond, and that's probably because he's been in jail or prison for rape before, without the G. Now, so a bond hearing is scheduled for Tuesday afternoon, August the 2nd. According to a spokesman with the Ascension Parish Sheriff's Office on Saturday, July the 30th, just before midnight, deputies responded to a local hospital in reference to a assault. Y'all know what that is, okay? So anyways, also nefarious, and I don't know why Mystikal can't seem to stay out of trouble. I mean, I don't know. I'm going to share my screen so you all can see the nefariousness of it all. Likes up, beloveds. Everyone, please like and share. This is so unfortunate. So much talent wasted. Here's a news report.
With his City Custom Cash Card, Dan earns cash back that automatically adjusts to where his spending is trending. Just ask stepping outside his comfort zone, Dan.
I don't know where the hole for this is.
Or fourth time streaming that period drama, Dan?
You just made me miss your best line, so now I'm gonna have to start it again.
Even insisted he didn't need directions, Dan.
Okay, I'm not lost, I'm exploring. That said, do you know where I am?
Earn 5% cash back in your top eligible spend category up to $500 spent each billing cycle with the City Custom Cash Card.
New Orleans-born rapper Michael Tyler is being held in Ascension Parish without bond after deputies arrested him over the weekend on rape and
Oops, didn't mean to stop it. Hold on, beloveds.
Domestic abuse charges. Investigators tell us deputies were called to a hospital after a victim showed up claiming they had been attacked by Tyler, whose stage name is Mystikal. Tyler is facing a long list of charges, and in the last few minutes, investigators also added a slew of drug charges. We have those details for you in the 9 News app.
So clearly he's on drugs. That would likely lead to his nefariousness. Just also said, just a waste of talent. Do you know how many people are trying to get from the bottom to the top? And they have all the talent, but they have never been able to catch a break that he caught. And he just squandered his with foolishness. Oh, so sad. Hello, Kenyatta, beloved. Asha Mwamba, Jacob, Israel, Greta, JRS, okay? Dion, V Maltz is in the house. Miss E, Jean, I see you. Musically high. Okay, so let's get into it. Let's get into it. I don't have time for Mystikal, honey. He ruined his life. So, I mean, how many chances do you need? I'm just saying. So likes up. Everyone, please like and share. So now let's talk about the notorious Bishop Whitehead. He's right back in the pulpit, beloveds. Right back in the pulpit as of yesterday, despite being robbed just a week ago. And he was draped in his finest Gucci apparel, it seems. So let's hear what he had to say. Let's see what he had to say. Bishop Lamar Whitehead holds first Sunday service after the armed robbery. So during the first Sunday service following the armed robbery, there was an odd display. Bishop Lamar Whitehead reenacted. Now, this is just doing too much. This is how you know it's something shady going on. Who wants to react something that was so traumatizing? And he said himself that they put the gun to his 8-month-old's face or head. But he wants to reenact it. Pay attention. Not saying he reenacted that part, but the fact that he'd want to reenact any of it. And there's no need to, because it was all live streamed. And I'm sure that we've all seen it by now. So he reenacted the incident inside Leaders of Tomorrow International Ministries. When doing too much and clout chasing goes wrong, pay attention. Now, on July the 24th, 3 gunmen walked into the church and pointed guns at Whitehead and his family. He said the trio made off with hundreds of thousands of dollars worth of jewelry. Police are investigating, and on Sunday, there was a much smaller group. Now, the bishop says many parishioners stayed home because they're still traumatized, but yet he wants to reenact the whole thing. He should be more traumatized than anyone. I mean, after having your wife and your child there robbed as well, and especially the gun being put to the child's head, if that's even true, I'm just saying, make it all make sense, Bishop. Now, the goal today, he says, was to show the world we're not going to allow bad people to stop good things. The alleged heist unfolded while services were being streamed live. Now, he says, there's police escorts, and I really enjoyed the service, and I didn't actually think about it at the time. I was really in the moment. That's what a parishioner said, Crystal Moore. The bishop tells Eyewitness News there were additional security inside, but wouldn't go into details. Now, the few people who would talk said they were not afraid to come to church and that they wanted to show their support. They say people are talking about maybe he was the one who set himself up. Well, that's what I think. That's clearly what I thought from day one, but let me continue. So that said that maybe he's the one who set himself up, an insurance scam. Now, about his bling bling pastor, that's what they're saying he is. But if he works hard, why can't we wear what we want to wear? That's what one parishioner said. Well, first of all, how's he working hard? I'm just wondering. He took that lady's $90,000 allegedly, right? That's not working hard unless you're talking about working hard to scam and fraud. But let me continue. Now, Whitehead said that he is done defending himself. Isn't that what these scammers always say when they don't have receipts and can't prove that what you're saying is not factual? When you accuse them of something and they can't prove that you're lying because they know that they're lying deep down inside. So what is the thing that they say the most? Well, I'm done defending myself. What I look like showing receipts. Isn't that what Wig said? What I look like showing receipts. Y'all need to call out these people with snitch behavior. It's amazing to me because I know Wig was in prison and all that. But she still talks like a convict. She still talks prison talk about snitch behavior. Wig, sit down somewhere. Now, if I keep answering what critics are saying so they can sell media, then I'm going to stunt the growth of my ministry, he said. Sounds just like what Wig was saying. So anyway, he said he doesn't want to talk about it. He's got nothing to say. Because what does he look like? I'm just curious. I'm just curious. So anyway, with that all been said, let me just show you all those receipts I had on him in case you missed it. All right. I told y'all the lady Pauline Anderson was suing him for his nefariousness of it all. Here's one of the documents, and I'll be sharing my screen to show you several. And I suppose that he'll say these documents are fake, just as Wig said. Nubian Cutie One said PIMP. Exactly. I don't care what you heard about me. I'm a motherfucking PIMP. That's what he said. Y'all heard him. So let's go ahead. Warrior Status said a whole scammer. Absolutely. Absolutely. Anyway, likes up, beloveds. Likes up. Please like and share. Here's the document here. I read it. That's what it says. Supreme Court of the State of New York, County of Kings, Pauline Anderson against Lamar Whitehead and Lamar Whitehead Incorporated. There you go. There you have it. That lady's suing him for the coins that he snatched from her. Okay? Her life savings, $90,000, talking about he's going to help her get a house because she had bad credit. I want y'all to pay attention to something. Because the fact is, if you have $90,000, I'm pretty sure you can get a house even if you have bad credit. I'm just pretty sure of that, okay? You could take maybe $2,000 of those dollars and go and get your credit fixed, where someone could tell you what you need to do to take certain things off of your credit. You could, in fact, go to some finance companies and banks that would, in fact, give you a loan, maybe not a huge loan, but I'm sure they would give you a loan if you have $90,000 to put down, please. And so that was all lies from day one, as far as I'm concerned. He needs to sit down somewhere. But anyway, this is what they do to elderly Black folk. I want you to pay attention because these are the ones they target, especially church folk. And that's just what it is. But here's another receipt on Bishop. For fraudulent activities. And these documents are verified. I know some people love to try to say that people have fake documents on them when they're cold busted. And everyone knows they're not to be trusted. Pay attention. And so here you see this. Now this is from his past crime. The one I just showed was from previous. And the reason I show his old paperwork from past crimes and the current is because of the simple facts. It's the same reason I show the past crimes of Wig and the current things that she's doing today. They aren't really considered crimes, but they are considered immoral and unethical, and show that she has a lack of moral fortitude as far as I'm concerned, and so is many of you. So the reason I show this is to say that zebras don't often change their spots, okay, if you will. They continue to do the same things that got them sent to prison in the first place. They just find a legal way to do it. And so they continue to scam and fraud and prey upon their own people. That's my point, all right? There it is right there, as you can see. This is from another con game that he ran so long ago, back in 2005. And here we are in 2022, and someone is suing him for yet another con game. Pay attention. These devils have no remorse. They have no empathy nor sympathy for their victims, only for themselves. Remember how low down and dirty he was to that lady when she was talking to him by text, her and her son, and he was just going into her, basically talking about anything you gave me that wasn't attached to a contract is mine. That's a donation. Well, it wasn't a donation when she gave it to him because she said that he was supposed to help her get a house, somewhere to live. So he's just going to leave that woman homeless with nowhere to go, or stuck in the place that she was already in that she wants to get out of. That's what he's going to do. Of course it is. And he took that $90,000 allegedly, and according to what she and others have said, put it down on the mansion so he could have somewhere nice to stay. I'm just saying, this is what these people do. And some of y'all don't want them exposed. Y'all can miss me with it, honey, because I will continue to expose these fraudulent devils day in and day out. I don't care who's mad. And I've told y'all that numerous of times. Y'all know the queen ain't scared. And then especially since people want to call me and try to threaten me, honey, I'm going to expose even more so. Just sit back and watch. Stay tuned, honey. Because the more people try to intimidate me into not talking, the more I'm going to talk. I will not be deterred. That only makes me more relentless in my pursuit of justice for the victims. All right. So anyway, these are some of the things he did, as I said. Now, let's move on and talk about Wig. But before we talk about Wig, let's talk about this other Black woman who committed tax fraud. She, in fact, deemed herself the queen of tax fraud. Now, I don't know why she thought that was a good moniker to have. Here's another receipt on the bishop. Thank you. Lakiva said you're doing the right thing. Thank you, beloved. And here's the thing. If these devils that I'm exposing were doing the right thing too, there'd be nothing to expose. So anybody that gets tired of me saying it, stop coming on my channel listening, because y'all love to hear it apparently, or you wouldn't be on here. And then you want to complain later like, oh, enough is enough. You're doing too much. Well, if you think I'm doing too much, why are you still on here? That's all I have to say about that. So anyway, that's right. Mr. Hotel said you would not be taken off course. Speak, Queen. Thank you, beloved. All right. Now, do y'all see that? Another document from the good old bishop himself with more of his shenanigans, sad to say, perpetuated on his own. So now with that all being said, let me get this stuff off the screen real quick. Likes up, everyone. Please like and share. Now listen to this. Listen to this. Here we go. Now, the tax fraud queen, as she calls herself, here she is, right here. Tax fraud queen gets 21-year prison term for the second time. So the self-proclaimed tax fraud queen, Rashia Wilson, has been sentenced again, despite an appellate court's order to the trial judge to recompute her sentence. She got the same thing, 21 long years. And this inglorious end for someone who taunted publicly on Facebook. I want y'all to pay attention. She taunted publicly on Facebook that she couldn't be caught. How foolish can you be? She said she couldn't be caught. When she was sentenced in 2003, she got 21 years for owning guns and stealing millions from the IRS. Now, she appealed, and an appeals court in 2014 struck down her 21-year term, rejecting the sentence on technical grounds. But the latest sentence showed that the trial judge would not budge on her 21-year sentence term. Now, the tax fraud queen remains an inmate at Aliceville Federal Correctional Institute in Alabama. Of course, 21 years may not actually mean 21 years, because with good behavior, she could be scheduled to be released January the 5th of 2031. So the original 21-year sentence was controversial. You see, the appeals court finding procedural errors, adding years to her prison term. That's what they said. They found that procedural errors. Now, that was why the trial judge was ordered to look at it again. Now, Ms. Wilson's sentencing was complex because she was actually indicted twice in 2012. She pleaded guilty to illegal gun possession and admitted netting over $3 million from aggravated identity theft and wire fraud in a tax refund scam. So the sentencing judge considered her prior conviction, the multiple felonies, and a formula that weighs the seriousness of the offenses and the defendant's record. Ms. Wilson was hardly a discreet or modest criminal. She posed with stacks of cash. That sounds familiar. Yeah, that's what Wig did. If you all saw the thumbnail, Wig posed with stacks of cash on Facebook too. But let me continue. So something about these fraudsters, they love to flash and flaunt their money, their ill-gotten gains. That's what they love to do. Now, she posed and flashed stacks of cash, dubbed herself the first lady of tax fraud, and challenged the authorities to catch her. She teased the police with online entries like this one. Here's one. Let me show you all this, honey, because she was really doing the most. Now she's sitting where she doesn't want to be. This is all so nefarious. Who does this? Talk about stupid. Make sure you all can see that. Okay, let me try to enhance it so you can get a better view. So it says, this is what she posted. I'm Rashia, the queen of IRS tax fraud. I'm a millionaire, for the record. So if you think indicting me will be easy, it won't. I promise you. You need more than black and white to hold me down. And that's to do rats who went in told as if First Lady don't have the TPD under her spell. So is she a witch too? I run Tampa right now. This is what she said. She's talking all slick. I don't know how she didn't think she was going to get caught. That's all so crazy. Really crazy if you ask me. But she was talking all this trash all over the internet. Some people are just woefully ignorance, or shall I say niggerance. So investigators worked for years to gather evidence against Miss Rochelle Wilson. See, I told you all, they will sit back and let you keep doing what you're doing, and you probably think it's all good and gravy. You think you're stacking up cash and no one said anything, and it's been a couple of years, maybe 3, and you haven't gotten busted. You think it's all fine and dandy. Just when you get cozy and start talking all that trash, here comes the knock on your door. Pay attention. Now, so they took years to gather evidence against Miss Wilson and other fraudsters. Now, the feds call it Operation Rainmaker. You see, Wilson's boyfriend, Maurice, his nickname is Thirst, okay? Maurice Thirst Larry, he was targeted as the Mandarin Squats Holloway. Right now, but Miss Wilson was the big catch. Before her coronation as the tax fraud queen, she had been arrested 40 times with felony convictions for her grand theft and burglary. She was a whole criminal. Pay attention. Now, even in prison, she caused controversy. She was supposed to begin paying restitution to victims, but pleaded poverty. Isn't that what Wig did? Now, Wig sat up there in Winter Court trying to save that house that was foreclosed on, fighting for it, her and her mother, Patricia. And she sat up there and they both pled farmer pauperous, which means poverty. Same thing she left some of her victims filing for. But anyway, I digress. So she pleaded poverty, claiming that she earns a paltry $5.25 a month at the federal prison. She complained that she has to pay her own vitamins and hygiene care. She has to pay for these things herself. But the prosecutors found she had deposits of $2,914,000 over 6 months, allowing her to spend liberally for herself. Now, while incarcerated, Ms. Wilson is supposed to pay at least $25 per quarter toward the $3.1 million of restitution that she and an accomplice owe the IRS for filing returns using stolen identities. Honey, they stole people's identities and wouldn't file taxes. Pay attention. Now, identity theft tax fraud is taken seriously. The average sentence for federal identity theft defendants nationally was 43 months. Many tax crimes carry less severe punishments. In fact, failing to file a return is a misdemeanor, while filing falsely is a felony. Now, actor Wesley Snipes didn't file a tax return, but was convicted of 3 misdemeanor counts of failing to file tax returns. Now, his 3-year sentence could have been worse. In most cases, the IRS must catch you within 6 years. For criminal tax evasion, that statute wasn't or doesn't run if the taxpayer is indicted within 6 years after willfully attempting in any manner to evade or defeat any tax or the payment thereof. Now, in some cases, though, the statute stops running. For example, the statute stops running if the target is outside of the U.S. or becomes a fugitive. When the alleged tax crime is committed, it can be hard to pinpoint. So does filing a false return start the 6-year clock? What about failing to file by the due dates? How about covering it up later, hiding money, or lying about it? All are potential problems that might occur many years after the tax return or should have been filed. Now, that either years after it was filed or should have been filed. Now, that means you may have to worry for years beyond 6. Some courts have concluded that the 6-year statute doesn't start to run until the last act of tax evasion. So in the United States, they had a case, the United States versus Irby. The court held the 6-year statute starts on the last act of evasion, and Mr. Irby used nominee trust to conceal all of his assets, delaying when his 6 years commenced. Years later, he could still be indicted, prosecuted, and convicted. No one wants to be lying low, worried about being caught. Even the queen of tax fraud is probably aware of that by now. So crazy, honey. She called herself the queen of tax fraud. I mean, when you talk about clout chasing, anything for clout, as some people do. Oh, so nefarious. So anyway, let me continue on with the next topic. So let's talk about Wig. Let's talk about Wig. Because I find it very interesting, some of the things that Wig has lied about in these webinars that people are complaining about. Some people are very disgruntled, and I'm so serious. And as they should be, because, you know, when you sit here and take people's hard-earned money that they worked for and all of that, you make them these fraudulent promises that you know you can't keep. It's just so low down. Okay? So anyway, someone talk wig to me, sis. The main course meal, says Vince, I am. Okay. If you can't do the time, don't do the crime, says Terry Henn. Absolutely. Absolutely. So let's get into it. Likes up, everyone. Please like and share. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already. Thank you in advance, beloveds. I'm going to share my screen so you all can see this. Okay, so everyone pay attention. Likes up, everyone. Please like and share.
Long distance. Religious context. Do you understand? There are multiple revelations. The Bible is written in code. Let me finish this now. Also, the Bible that's written, many of the stories, the different names, the analogies are actually stories that were borrowed, shall we dare say, stolen from Black ancient spiritual practices, from an ancient Kemet. Please listen to what I'm saying to you right now, family. The scriptures were never meant to be written. It was always, for many, many years, orally passed down. Are you all hearing me? It was always orally passed down. So it's encrypted. It speaks in code. It speaks in an algorithm, and it takes a capable person to unlock what's in there.
Now I want y'all to listen to this. I'm going to stop the share. Now I want y'all to pay attention, because I know y'all just heard her call it an algorithm. I told y'all she don't know what the H she's talking about. She said, because she's trying to mimic the queen. I want you to pay attention, beloveds. She said it takes a capable person. She's not capable. She called it an algorithm. You see, and as I told you, she called it an algorithm numerous of times on Fly Nubian Queen. She continued to call it an algorithm. That's how you know she didn't do no research. That's how you know she don't know what she's talking about. And she said algorithm so many times, in fact, that her subscribers, some of them thought that it was also called an algorithm. And also, when she says that the Bible was never intended to be written down, that's a whole lot of load of BS. You see, she said correctly that the Bible was taken from the ancient book of the dead. She didn't say the name of the book, but she said from the Commissions, which she also, I'm sure, heard me say. But yes, it was taken from the ancient Commissions, i.e. Egyptians, from the book of the dead, which was written. And it was also some of the things from the Bible written and painted on the ancient walls of Kemet. So therefore, it absolutely was meant to be written down. In fact, they have a place over in, I believe it's Ethiopia, where they have, scripture from the Bible, and it is written literally in stone. And you know why it's written in stone? So that they could not later come back and change it. Okay, so it was never not supposed to be written. How could anybody remember all of those things if it were not written down? You see, what she's doing is she's confused, because you see, in fact, when our ancestors came over here, those that came from Africa, many of them, of course, you know that they weren't allowed to read and write. So many of their practices, spiritual practices, religious practices, and those things, well, they didn't really have religion, but they had spiritual practices that they engaged in. Many of those things were not to be written down because they weren't allowed to read and write. And they never had to worry about over in Africa, right? So they knew those things by heart. So when she's saying the Bible is never supposed to be written down, that's absolutely crazy. And when she says algorithm, that's also crazy. All right, so let me play that for you again. I can't believe she just said what she said. Likes up, everyone. Please like and share. Stop right there. Now, y'all heard she said it's a book of magic. I'm going to talk about that and address that in a second. Keep listening. I want y'all to hear her say algorithm again. But she did say that it's a book of magic, which is also a lie. But let's continue. Oh, I'm sorry. I forgot to share the screen. Sorry, hold on. Sorry, beloveds. I'm all into it, honey. I didn't even share the screen. Let me go back. And let me go back, beloveds. Wig had me mesmerized with her lies. Hold on.
If we did, and if we knew, and if we activated, we would have the wherewithal to overcome the greatest atomic bombs, nuclear weapons, and political systems on the planet. Not only that, beloved family, I want you to know that with the Bible being a book of magic, and that's how I use it, that's how I'm invoking it, I'm not using it from a specific, I'm not using it and talking about the scripture from a religious context. Do you understand? There are multiple revelations. The Bible is written in code. Let me finish this now. Also, the Bible that's written, many of the stories, the different names, the analogies are actually stories that were borrowed, shall we dare say stolen from Black ancient spiritual practices, from ancient Kemet. Please listen to what I'm saying to you right now, family. The scriptures were never meant to be written. It was always, for many, many years, orally passed down. Are you all hearing me? It was always orally passed down.
Let me stop right there. Where she is confused, as I said, is the Bible was supposed to be written down. What was not supposed to be written and was supposed to be orally shared was the spiritual practices. They didn't write that down. They just passed it on from one generation to the next. The spiritual practices. Okay, that is what she should have said. But because she doesn't know what she's talking about, because she's clearly taken my talking points, you see, that's why she's confused. Let's continue. Bless her heart, she tried.
So it's encrypted, it speaks in code, it speaks in an algorithm, and it takes a capable person to unlock what's in there.
Well, that's true. It does take a capable person. And unfortunately for her, she's not the one. Now, she said that it speaks in algorithm. And as I said, that's not a Freudian slip, beloveds. She said that at least 3 times that I've witnessed, probably more, but I've only seen her do it 3 times on Fly Nubian Queen. And she never corrected herself. And no one ever corrected her, which lets me know that the people listening likely didn't know as much as she did. Okay, in fact, because this is a knowledge that just everyone has, you see. That's why she had to copy it from the queen. Now, let me just go to prove my points. All right, because petty I am, and y'all know I like to prove my points. Now, let me just pull up a video of mine where she clearly got that from. Let me see. At the 46-minute mark. This is from my spiritual channel.
One of the
Your shoulder. How long do you think it would take? Is your name? And the man said, that we cannot see. As well, spell. because they put our ancestors under a spell when they indoctrinated them into Christianity and started forcing them to worship, praise, and believe in a white Jesus. Okay? And lest we forget that the Bible, they got the information in the Bible from the ancient commissions, our ancestors. They got the information from the Book of the Dead and off of the ancient walls of Kemet. And what did they do to hide the truth from you? They put it in allegorical context. And sadly, so many of our people take the Bible literally. All right, there you have it. You see, she literally tried to say everything that I said. She said they got it from the ancient commissions. Yes, this is true. She left out the fact that they got it from the ancient walls of Kemet as well. She also seemed to have forgotten that the book that they got it from the commissions was called the Book of the Dead. That's just a few tidbits. See, here's what I'm trying to prove to you. That you know she absolutely copied it word from word, or tried to copy it word from word from my teachings, or my research, shall I say, because she said literally what I said, but she didn't go into grave detail. You see how I go into much more detail? You see how I add much more, to the plates. And also I said allegories and she said algorithm because she was confused. All right. So that's what that was. I just want to point that out. Okay. So let us continue. Now I'm going to move forward to another part. Oh, and there is something at the beginning that I wanted you all to see. Hold on. I want you all to pay attention to this too. Hold on. Let me go back just a bit. Hold on. Let me fast forward past this song, honey. Y'all need to hear this part. Hold on. I'm sorry. I'm still trying to find the right part. Hold on, beloveds. Okay. I was trying to get to the right minute mark. Hold on. Let me share my screen again. Okay, there we go.
Saying, do you want to know what other supernatural phenomena? But they are telling you and talking to you about STEM research. STEM, STEM stands for science, technology, engineering, right? And mathematics. So that you will think it's just technical, logical stuff. But if you know anything about me, in my courses, and I've taught this for years, is I do magic over logic, spirit over logic, because you are more than what meets the eye, because you are the universe, because of your unique DNA cellular structure, because of your special melanin structure also, that is the God particle that is in you already, but it's dormant. The reason the government flooded our communities, I have to explain this before we go further, family. The reason they locked you up disproportionately, the reason some of our people were enslaved, the reason our ideas were stolen, our bodies were stolen, and we were destroyed, this is the reason why. because there's something already in you, not something that you need to reach outside of yourself. Repeat after me right now. Somebody say this, and Jesus said this years ago. Remember, when I'm invoking scripture, remember, I'm invoking it as a book of magic, not just the Jesus that you've been taught as your Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ. I'm talking about Jesus as the one they say is the Christ, but I'm fixing to tell you who and what the Christ is. Repeat after me. It said it in Luke chapter 11, Luke 10, and Matthew chapter 11. Touch your eyes right now. And then touch the center of your forehead, which many of you call your third eye, but it's really your first eye.
Stop right there. I absolutely cannot. She said, you all saw that, right? Did you all see that? Let me show that again before I move on to the next receipt. Okay, y'all see that? Hold on.
In mathematics, so that you will think it's just technical, logical stuff. But if you know anything about me, in my courses, and I've taught this for years, is I do magic over logic, spirit over logic, because you are more than what meets the eye, because you are the universe, because of your unique DNA cellular structure, because of your special melanin structure also, that is the God particle that is in you already, but it's dormant. The reason the government flooded our communities, I have to explain this before we go further, family. The reason they locked you up disproportionately, the reason some of our people were enslaved, the reason our ideas were stolen, our bodies were stolen, and we were destroyed, this is the reason why. Because there's something already in you, not something that you need to reach outside of yourself. Repeat after me right now. Somebody say this, and Jesus said this years ago. Remember, when I'm invoking scripture, remember, I'm invoking it as a book of magic, not just the Jesus that you've been taught as your Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ. I'm talking about Jesus as the one they say is the Christ, but I'm fixing to tell you who and what the Christ is. Repeat after me. It said it in Luke chapter 11, Luke 10, and Matthew chapter 11. Touch your eyes right now. And then touch the center of your forehead, which many call your third eye, but it's really your first eye. Touch your natural eyes as a sign, and then touch the.
Okay, I'm going to stop right there. I'll stop the share right there, because she said touch your third eye, which many call she said many of you call it the third eye, but it's really called the first eye. Now, she absolutely got that from me, because most people absolutely do call it the third eye, but you all should know that I say it's the first eye, which you call the third eye. That's exactly what I have said, and I'm about to drop the receipt to prove it. Absolutely, I cannot with Wig. She literally takes everything from everyone else who's much more smarter and educated, resourceful, and who researches when she does not.
She was known as the contest queen because she had won
if you use the third eye, or the first eye as I call it, then your body is full of light, because actually when that, now y'all heard that? I said when you use the third eye, or the first eye as I call it. Y'all see how she copies everything I say? Oh, y'all paying attention to this? Y'all heard that, right? Okay, so now let's talk about this. When she said the Bible is a book of magic, let's get into it, because I'm going to tell you why she's saying that it's a book of magic. Because it's absolutely not. It's absolutely not a book of magic. No, it absolutely is not. So let me pull up the receipt to let you all know why she's saying that. Here it is right here. I want y'all to see this, and I'm going to pull this up on the screen so y'all can see it for yourselves, honey. Because I'm going to tell you why she says the Bible is a book of magic, because she's a whole witch. She's practicing witchcraft that the Europeans taught our ancestors. And I want y'all to pay attention, because if you notice in one of the videos that I showed of myself, I said that our people, our ancestors, were spellbound. You know why our people were spellbound? Because their captors who took them into slavery put a spell on them with witchcraft. That's why the word gospel, when you talk about gospel in church, they get it from ghost spell, because they put a spell upon them and they were spellbound. That's why they were so brainwashed. Just like many of her subscribers. Pay attention. She's absolutely practicing witchcraft, as I have told you. Prove that she isn't. I would love to see it, because here's the fact. Let me show you why she calls the Bible a book of magic. She said that twice at least, right? Let me make sure you all can see this. Y'all see that? Y'all read that. Jesus Christ was a wizard and Bible is a book of magic. Self-styled witches claim. Only a witch would say that. Only a witch, okay, would say that. Look at that. Look at it. Witches call the Bible a book of magic. Pay attention. Because you know why they call it a book of magic. I'm so glad you asked. Because when they talk about the miracles that Jesus performed in the Bible, they say that's witchcraft. That's not witchcraft. It's miracles that come through spirituality from the Most High. So let's get into it. So listen to this. Ahead of the first Christian witches convention held in Salem, Massachusetts in April, some in the organization have claimed Jesus was a conjurer of tricks rather than a miracle worker. The shocking claims which are bound to upset certain sections of Christianity were made by Chief Christian Witch Reverend Valerie Love, who is the organizer of the Witches Convention and recently launched the Covenant of Christian Witches Mystery School. Like her school of magic, isn't that what she calls it? Yeah, she calls it Vicky University. She says her spiritual school of magic. Pay attention. And this woman has a covenant of a Christian witches mystery school. Same thing. Reverend Love confirms that she is a follower of Jesus Christ, but believes he is little more than a magician. Speaking on her Facebook page, Reverend Love says in a video, the Bible is a huge book of sorcery. Same thing as magic. You literally can't get around that, she says. You can't get around Jesus being a magician. There's just no way. You're talking about sorcery as its base understanding. It's really just being able to change the natural by supernatural means. Isn't she always saying that she's a supernatural being? I told you all, you have to be careful, because some people say they're supernatural and they absolutely are, but they're supernatural on the demonic, satanic, lower vibrational realm. Because remember, malevolent beings and spirits are supernatural as well. Okay, she says it's an alchemical process. It's to say that you turn water into wine. 2 fish and 5 loaves of bread, feeding the multitude, absolutely forms of sorcery. Walking on water, define the natural realm and laws that govern the physical plane. That's all realms of sorcery. Magic is simply just using the props to do it. That's what she said. That's why she calls it magic. That's why she calls it magic, okay? The Bible is not a book of magic. The Bible is a book of allegories. That's what it is. It's a book of spirituality. That's what it is. I want y'all to pay attention to the nefariousness of it all. I want y'all to pay attention. But let me continue, because I'm going to share my screen again. Let me share my screen again, beloveds. Lights up. Everyone, please like and share. Mr. Hotel said, this is sick and disgusting. Absolutely. It's perversion of the Most High's words. And it takes a sick person to do these things. I want you to pay attention.
The center of your forehead and say, blessed are my eyes that see. Blessed are my ears that hear. That's what's written, because he said there were prophets and there were wise people that wished that they could hear what you know now. Let's listen. Before I go into the specifics, I want you to know a few years ago, I had an encounter. Are you listening? With a supernatural messenger. It started off with simple encounters. After I went years without a serious spiritual routine. I was rejected from different spiritual groups. And then I started to just seek and invoke spirit myself. After doing this for a long time, I had several different encounters, which I've shared with certain private groups in my spiritual courses, but I will now share with you and give more understanding. One of the first things that
Hold on, I want you all to remember something. In the Bible, it says, thou shalt not suffer a witch to live. So the Bible absolutely unequivocally speaks against witchcraft and black magic and things of the sort and witches. It says, thou shalt not suffer a witch to live. So for someone to be a whole witch and talking about the Bible as a book of magic and spells and all that and sorcery, they're absolutely lying. Blasphemous.
happened was when I was in the middle of a spiritual session. The angels filled my room and they were wing to wing. Most angels really don't have wings, but when they appear to us, because of the dimension we're in, they're interdimensional entities. So in order for
Now, I'm going to stop right there for a minute because let me tell you all this before I continue. She says that she was rejected from many spiritual groups. I want you to pay attention because she's telling on herself. She said she was rejected from many spiritual groups. So she began to invoke spirit herself. Well, the reason she was likely rejected is because she was doing witchcraft rather than spiritual practices. So they didn't want to deal with her because they know good and darn well witchcraft has nothing, no place, nothing to do with spirituality. So she said she began to invoke spirit herself. Now, I want you to listen because she's going to talk about what she invoked. And you all say, she's going to say it's angels, but you all be the judge and tell me if you think this is angels or demons. Pay attention. Now, let me go back. Likes up, everyone, please like and share.
for us to even perceive them, sometimes they come with that because we associate them with wings. They were wing to wing in this particular instance. Because you are the universe, because of your unique. And in the legal pads, they were right.
Hold on.
Our people were enslaved in mathematics, so that you will think it's just technical, logical stuff. But if you know anything about me in my courses, and I'm talking about Jesus. Oh, now let's listen. Before I go into the specifics, I want you to know a few years ago, I had an encounter. Are you listening? With a supernatural messenger. It started off with simple encounters. After I went years without a serious spiritual routine, I was rejected from different spiritual groups. And then I started to just seek and invoke spirit myself. After doing this for a long time, I had several different encounters, which I've shared with certain private groups in my spiritual courses, but I will now share with you and give more understanding. One of the first things that happened was when I was in the middle of a spiritual session. The angels filled my room and they were wing to wing. Most angels really don't have wings, but when they appear to us, because of the dimension we're in, they're interdimensional entities. So in order for us to even perceive them, sometimes they come with that because we associate them with wings. They were wing to wing in this particular instance, but they stood like men and they each had legal pads. And in the legal pads, they were writing down everything that I was saying so that they could take my orders. At the time, I was declaring things in the earth from Washington, D.C., throughout the world. They had legal pads doing what I said to do. Sometime later, a messenger came to me in the middle of the night. I was suspended in the air. It shifted, and it sounded like someone was actually trying to break into my home. I was outside of my body, and when this intruder, I thought it was, tried to enter my home, I didn't have guns or any weapons. So because the door that they tried to enter through was in my kitchen, I took a butcher knife and I stabbed the messenger. The messenger looked like a black man with a receding hairline. He was my height, but slightly shorter, and red, fiery eyes. I stabbed him. He pulled out the butcher knife unharmed. And he said, "I'm not an intruder. I've come to give you the code." He immediately left, and he did not give me the code. The encounter shook me so much, I called a mentor of mine at the time that was in Mississippi. My mentor from Mississippi told me to just continue to pray about the code, just stay steadfast with the last instruction that the messenger gave me. That's a word for some of you. Some of you are trying to get a new part to some spiritual thing that you know. Don't worry about the next thing. Just be faithful to what you already know. Listen. I continued to pray over in my mind, quite a period of time, because I was shaken by this incident because I had tried to harm someone. The knife went through him, but he pulled out the knife unharmed. Sometime later, I won't get into the details of the particular movie, but I was watching a movie that was based on a true story. The movie that was based on the true story centered around a particular safe bank box. The long and short of it is, that particular number I noticed. Please listen to me as I share this next part. Hours later, not even 24 hours, my mother had already moved from Mississippi to Colorado to help me at the time. My mother can bear witness to this. In a matter of hours, the next day was a Sunday. Someone in a red vehicle, Jeep, parked across from my home. I was looking at the vehicle. The person got out, was a spiritual lady that I knew, but she didn't call me. She didn't text me. She didn't give me any information that she would be coming. Family, when she came to my door, she said, "Vicki, I apologize for not giving you any heads up." She said, "Last night I had a dream." She said, "The dream I had last night, a messenger came to me. They were dressed like a police officer concerning you. They gave me an envelope. They pulled back the code. It was a little peephole on the envelope, and it listed the name of a specific large bank that I was fighting by myself to get justice." She said the messenger mentioned that specific bank name, and she had the law firm name rather. They mentioned the law firm's name. She wrote it down. And she said they gave me a code. I need y'all to hear me. I need y'all to hear me. When she gave me the 3-digit number, the 3-digit number was the exact code I got the previous night from the bank deposit. I can't tell you what happened later spiritually at this time because I'm not released to say that part yet. Years later, family, I underwent a special ritual a few months ago. Something happened in my home that I can't say right now. I had to actually leave my home, and not a construction worker, but a person had to come in to do some work in my home. When I left, I had a supernatural encounter for the next 2 hours. The next 2 hours was the specific exact code information related to what I'm supposed to tell you today, updated information, because that code served me while I was also in the belly of the beast in a federal prison. That code had angels that were with me that actually, and this is not bragging on myself, but I literally raised the dead while I was in prison, long distance. This messenger stayed with me the entire time. The latest information that I had been channeling was to let you know that because of the authority, as I would say, and I'm not bragging on myself, as a celebrity in the heavenlies, because of the rank I was granted in the heavenlies, I encountered the Most High in a legal setting. I was told to let you know that because of my anointing, when I got into it with the federal government, when I got into it with attorneys generals, FBI agents, local, state, and Wall Street entities, Spirit let me know that I was coming into contact with these high-level authorities because of my spiritual rank and because of what heaven, when I say heaven, I'm talking about the multi-dimensions, were up to. Within this time, they said that the RNA messenger codes is about them trying to tap into our technology.
All right, we've heard enough of the foolishness. So I want you all to pay attention because this is all so sad and foolish that people actually spent money for this bullshit. Now she's sitting up there saying, and I want y'all to pay attention as I reiterate what she's already said. She said that, in fact, she said that the woman came to her house. I want y'all to pay attention. The woman came unannounced and told her that she had a dream the night before and that there was a policeman or two policemen came to her and they had an envelope. And they gave her the envelope and she opened it and there was 3 numbers. That was the code. She said, I can't tell you what happened next. Then she says, years later, I want you to pay attention. You know what happened next? She went to prison. That's what happened next. That woman had a prophetic dream. The woman was the prophet, not her. The woman clearly had a dream that she was going to prison. So the woman came to warn her. And so she can't tell you the rest because that would be telling you that she went to prison. That's why she starts the story off after with years later, after she got out. Pay attention. Also, when she said that she had an encounter with angels and that she said the angels they were standing wing to wing. And then she said most angels don't have wings, but because we think of them as with wings, that's how they present themselves to us. Let me tell you why she said that. Because 2.5 years ago, when I first came to YouTube, she was selling those BS angel calendars, right? Maybe 1.5 years ago, she started selling them, the angel calendars with wings and all that. And I told everybody on my channel, I said, first of all, angels don't have wings. The angels are our ancestors. We're made from stardust, which she also says now. But I said the angels don't have wings. So when she's selling a calendar with black people with wings, that's all fictitious and clearly inaccurate. And so then now she says most angels don't have wings, but they may come to you with wings because that's how we see them. No, your ancestors are not going to come to you with wings. Okay, I've seen my ancestors in dreams many a time and they never had wings. Okay, they never had wings. So she needs to sit down somewhere. Like, it's all so foolish. And then when she said that spiritual encounter, I want you to pay attention, because when she said she had a spiritual encounter with this messenger who she thought was an intruder, and they came into her house breaking in, sounded like someone's breaking in through the kitchen door. She pulls out a butcher knife and stabs it. The knife goes straight through, and they tell her, I'm not an intruder. I'm going to give you the codes. And then they left without giving her the codes. She said she was elevated into the air, right? She said that she was raised into the air. I forget what word she used, but basically said that she levitated. She said she was suspended in air. That's what she said. You know what that sounds like? I'm sorry. It sounds like The Exorcist. Have you all seen The Exorcist from back in the day? Or wasn't that young girl Reagan? Or wasn't she suspended in the air at sometimes when the devil or the demons were possessing her? And in fact, she said that the person that she saw looked like a black man with receding hairline and fiery red eyes. I'm sorry. That sounds like a demon. And also, if the Most High, she said she met the Most High in a legal setting. So you mean you met the Most High in a legal setting, and the Most High told you, Wig, that the people were attacking you because of your celebrity in the heavenlies and because of your anointing? Well, here's the thing. If the Most High literally met you in person and talked to you, why didn't the Most High just put the light over you so that you would be protected, so that no weapon formed against you would prosper, so you'd never even go to prison? Lady, please stop it all, I say. And then here's the thing. When this so-called messenger came to her in the middle of the night and she stabbed it because she was afraid, she said she was afraid, right? So she stabbed it. Let me tell you something. The Most High does not ever come to us and give us the spirit of fear. That's how you can tell the difference between a malevolent spirit and a benevolent spirit. Okay, a wicked spirit will scare you because it brings low vibrational energy. It comes with paranormal, nefarious activity around it. It comes from the satanic realms. But when the Most High sends something to you, say, for example, one of our ancestors, as some of us call angels, they're not going to frighten you. You will not be afraid. I have seen spirits. Okay, and I was never afraid when they were the ancestors or benevolent spirits. But I've also seen wicked spirits because I have, my third eye is open and I was born with a sixth sense. Always had prophetic gifts and dreams that come true and, you know, precognitive intuition, right? Precognition and things like that. So I've always been able to see spirits, and some of these spirits are absolutely nefarious, and I can see them on other people, on wicked people, and I saw them on Wig. That's how I knew she was a whole witch doing demonic things. That's how I knew that. I saw the demon on her. When I had that dream about her that I told you all about weeks ago, when I woke up from that dream, it was a very eerie presence, all right, a fearful presence. So that clearly was not from the Most High. So when she's saying all of this, she had an encounter with a demon. Fiery red eyes. Does that sound like something the Most High would send to greet you in the middle of the night? I'm sorry, it does not. And listen to this. 2 Timothy, verse 1, chapter 1, verse 7. It says, and I quote, "For God hath not given us the spirit of fear, but of power and of love and of a sound mind." So the Most High doesn't give us a spirit of fear. So why would the Most High send anything to any of us that gives us fear? That would be something that came wicked from Satan, from the things that she likely invoked and conjured up doing her so-called witchcraft, because she says the Bible's a book of magic. Just saying. But sadly, some of you all paid for that. Sorry you're disappointed. You all might be wanting to sue her right about now. Some of you have already said you wanted to sue. Those of you who want to join in the class action lawsuit against Wig, make sure you send your information. If you pay for these webinars, any of them, and you feel slighted, you feel like she didn't give you what she promised, you feel like things didn't turn around for you and go good and all the things that she said that would happen, well, if you want to sue, make sure that you send me an email. But send it to Shakur Ahmadiyyah. Let me put it in the chat because I don't want you to send to my regular email that everybody sends stuff to. Because we need to sue people like her. That's what you need to do. Because that's the only way to stop them. You see, sue them for conning and scamming you out of your money through fraudulent practices that they can't go to jail for because it's legal scams that they're doing. But you absolutely can sue them in civil court. Pay attention. And Ramses was the first one to say that when he was on the show on Saturday. And so with that all being said, that's such a good idea. And other people have reached out to me since then. Here it is, ShakurAhmadiyyah@gmail.com. Send your emails to there with your information or whatever, so that you can be added to the lawsuit, because clearly one's going to be filed. All right, Wig needs to sit down somewhere. Her time of scamming and conning black folk and taking your good or hard-earned money with a bunch of lies and foolishness and talking about witchcraft and calling it spirituality and talking about the Most High but using demonic realms from Satan, that's got to stop. And anybody sign up for that school, you should think twice. All right, you should think twice, because the Bible has nothing to do with magic. And Jesus was not a magician nor sorcerer. So with that all being said, let me tell you who she reminds me of. I want y'all to pay attention. I'm going to share my screen so I can show y'all who she reminds me of. Wait till I cue this, beloveds. Likes up, like, and share. This is who Wig reminds me of. And her followers who are still hanging on for dear life, woefully being ignorant, they remind me of the people that follow this person. Hold on, let me see. Let me find my place because I don't want to go through this whole thing. Where I need to start it at. Here it is. The 9-minute mark.
Jim Jones Jr.
I say my real claim to fame is I was the first African-American child adopted by Caucasians in Indiana. And he always reminded me that.
my adopted black son, not my black son, not my son, my adopted black son.
His family was designed to mirror what he thought the world should be like.
It was striking and unusual for a white family to adopt black kids.
But it also served as a prop that promoted him as a hero of the cause.
I represent divine principle, divine socialism. I will not pass away, but I shall stand throughout the endless ages of time.
You heard the message you wanted to hear. That was kind of what his talent was.
For good and evil both. He played both sides of the coin. Good to draw people in, and then evil to control them.
He was a predator who had really mastered the art of luring people from every segment of life.
And as time went on, he talked less and less about God and more about social transformation in increasingly dark and semi-apocalyptic ways.
Armageddon that would spring forth in a nuclear hell, we have to be prepared for that, but we also have to be prepared to go to other places in the world if a dictatorship takes over. Because I told you that not one of my children is going to end up in a concentration camp. I said they'll have to kill us all first.
Let all the story of this people's temple be told. If nobody understands, it matters not.
Fear is an incredible thing. When you get enough people in the same vicinity feeling that level of terror, I believe it takes on a life of its own.
We did not want this kind of ending. We wanted to live, to shine. Darkness settles over Jonestown on its last day on Earth.
So there you have it, beloveds. Now that's one of the people that she reminds me of. But hold on, because here's another. Let's not leave out this other nefarious one. Likes up, everyone. Please like and share.
Live, KXAS TV.
Continues with the night team. Jimmy Swaggart is leaving his fate to the Lord and church leaders tonight after confessing that he sinned.
Tears filled his eyes as Swaggart took the pulpit in Baton Rouge, Louisiana this morning to beg forgiveness. Channel 5's Tim Herrera reports tonight Swaggart is stepping down from his powerful TV ministry while the Assembly of God Church investigates him for having an affair with a prostitute.
Jimmy Swaggart's the top-rated preacher on TV. He leads a multi-million-dollar evangelical empire. Now he's confessed to a moral mistake, and he's pulling away from the pulpit for a while.
I have sinned against you, my Lord. And I would ask that your precious blood would wash and cleanse every stain until it is in the seas of God's forgetfulness. Thank you.
Now, one thing I'll say, at least Jimmy Swaggart did pretend to give atonement. More than I can say for Wig. He said, I have sinned against you. But hold on, let's not stop there. There's more nefariousness. Likes up, everyone, please like and share. And please like and share. Here it is. Now, this is who she really reminds me of.
While you funding for Frontline is provided about overlapping jurisdiction.
But the real question wasn't who would be doing the investigation. The real question on the table was whether there'd be an investigation at all. And this really surprised me. We basically went around the table.
You're the cop. What are you going to do about it?
And NIMS was accusing the Department of Justice of dragging its feet in the matter. He was calling for a federal criminal investigation. And I thought with the PTL, who in the eyes of the law would be considered the victim, calling for it publicly, the media calling for it, and the federal investigative agencies asking for it, that the department would have no choice but to authorize a criminal investigation into these allegations.
By now, Brewer was back home after a second meeting in Washington. In Charlotte, agents from the FBI, IRS, and the Postal Service were beginning to pursue their own lines of inquiry when Brewer got another phone call from the Department of Justice.
Charles Brewer.
This time he was told that any future federal investigations would be based not in Charlotte, which is a short drive from Heritage USA, but 80 miles away in Columbia, South Carolina.
Most of the federal investigative resources are located in Charlotte. The tax audit that had been going on was being handled by the IRS out of North Carolina. The South Carolina IRS had nothing to do with it at all, as I understand it. The South Carolina FBI had not had any involvement.
And Brewer's office was not to have any involvement either. The PTL case would be handled by Vinton D. Lyde and Michael Durney.
It struck me as being unusual when you assign an investigation to assign it to the two entities that did not want an investigation to take place at all, and to specifically exclude from the investigation the entity that wanted it.
Now that a grand jury is hearing evidence, the Department of Justice cannot comment on Brewer's allegations. Neither can the IRS, which is now seeking to recover $55 million from PTL and almost $10 million from the Bakers personally. But would either agency be doing anything had it not been for the Jessica Hahn scandal? It's a question that causes concern for both conservatives and liberals alike.
Well, as we've come to
will
Now, y'all see those poor people sitting up there crying, honey. Let me tell you something. Those people reminded me of Wiggs people because they sat there and cried after Jim Baker and Tammy Faye Baker did all that dirt. One lady said that she still loves Tammy Baker. Tammy Baker has helped her. She doesn't care what anybody says about her. She's going to love her no matter how her mascara is running down her face. That's what she said. So they still believed in these people after these people conned them out of all their money. But hold on. Now let's talk about some other folk who conned elderly Black folk. I want y'all to listen to this. Here it is. Listen to this. A born-again scoundrel. Born-again scoundrel. This is Wiggs. This is who Wig got a lot of her stuff from, as far as I'm concerned. Seems very similar. Let me share my screen so y'all can see exactly who I'm talking about. I've spoken about him before numerous of times. Absolutely numerous of times. There he is, the notorious and nefarious Peter Popoff. All right? So did you all know that he made most of his money off of Black folk? Peter Popoff, the born-again scoundrel. Yep. So let me stop the share. Let's talk about it. Once Peter Popoff was a magical, mystical man of God, using those same words Wig uses, pay attention. Magical, mystical. He was a giant among the 80s televangelists. And Lord was he rich. He was also an enormous fraud who was ruined in scandal. But here in America, time absolves all of that. And if a fellow is clever enough, he can remake his kingdom and amass quite a fortune. That's what Wig did. I told you, people like her, all they do is just reinvent themselves and start their whole con game again, just doing it legal this time. All right? So goes on to say, let me scroll down so we can talk about these elderly Black folk. Here's the thing. The show, hold on. Let me scroll back up. It says, Peter Popoff. Hold on, let me find the good part. Lights up, everyone. Here it is right here. Okay, so he came to me when I least expected. I was in a hotel bed and robed in terry cloth, my teeth brushed, my head aloft holding the remote. This was a year ago, and the soft glow of the cable was in the room. I was flitting through channels where I happened upon BET. And so there I saw an old white man preaching to an audience of elderly Black people. And as I wondered what on earth this pastor was doing, this altar cocker, what was he doing on Black TV? It came to me. I had seen this man before. It had been years ago. See, I told you they prey on elderly Black people. This is what they do. It had been years ago, and he had changed his name, or he had changed some. A few more wrinkles, a little bit of a gaits, the hair a bit more aggressively Black, but it was him. Peter Popoff was back, and he was as mesmerizing as ever. So it goes on to say that the show cut to the video of Popoff working a room of sick, elderly African Americans. He says to one woman, "Is that your cane?" He says, "I believe God has given you a divine chiropractic treatment." Amen. Hallelujah. Amen. In Jesus' name. You can walk now without that cane. Take a few steps and make the devil mad. That's what he said. Now, the woman stood up with his help, started shaking her hands, and then as the organ drum picked up the tempo, started shaking her hands faster. She never took very many steps, though, so clearly he was lying. But she vibrated with energy. Don't listen to this. Popoff yanked her cane away and tossed it upstage. The scene dissolved to a woman sharing a bit of testimony with Popoff in the crowd. So I'm telling you, elderly Black people is who he was pandering to. And sadly, many of them were falling for him. This is the same thing that most of these fraudulent people do. Okay? I wanted to point that out. And so anyway, let's not stop there. Let's talk about the woman who got sued. Just like Wig is going to get sued. Want y'all to pay attention. Miss Cleo settles for $500 million. Miss Cleo has seen the future and decides that it's not her. It doesn't include her, they say. And so the operators of her psychic hotline have agreed. They had agreed to cancel pop-ups. Okay, they had agreed to cancel $500 million in customer bills, return all of the uncashed checks to customers, and pay a $5 million fine. Although Miss Cleo was going to be fading from the airwaves and perhaps from public view, the popular soothsayer she wouldn't have gone hungry anytime soon. You see, in 3 years, it's estimated that her service billed $1 billion through 900 numbers and credit cards and collected about half of it. Wow, isn't that something? So the landmark settlement eclipses previous Federal Trade Commission settlements. Under the deal, Florida-based Access Resource Services Incorporated, known as ARS, and Psychic Readers Network Incorporated, PRN, agreed to stop all collection efforts and forgive an estimated $500 million in outstanding consumer charges as part of a settlement with the Federal Trade Commission. Now, the lesson in this case is that companies that make a promise in an ad need to deliver on it. Just like Wig. She made promises that she could unlock your ancestral DNA codes. She sold you keys and fake ATM cards and said your money would increase if you kept it and said the incantations. So for many of you who've spoken to me and sent me emails and all those things, you said it didn't work. But so the long and short of it is that you should be able to deliver on a promise in an ad, whether it's about availability, performance, or cost. This is what J. Howard Bills III, director of the FTC's Bureau of Consumer Protection, says. He says, "I'm no psychic, but I can foresee this. If you make deceptive claims, there is an FTC action in your future. So you all can call the Federal Trade Commission on Wig." Now, so with that all being said, they promised Cleo and her company that she was working with that they would forgive the $500 million debts that the people, were supposed to pay them. And then they would pay the $5 million fine. So that's what happened. Miss Cleo got sued, and that was the end of her. So they say, in addition, the complaint alleged that the defendants repeatedly called consumers without providing them a reasonable method for stopping the calls. The complaint also alleged that the defendants violated the pay-per-call rule by failing to disclose the cost of the calls in their ads for the psychic services and by threatening consumers with adverse credit reports. Well, I'm going to tell you something what people have said about Wig. This is what people have said. Now, I can't substantiate this, but I will say that people have told me that Wig, in fact, when they sign up for some of her things, that money continues to come off of their cards. That's what some people have said. They said money continues to come off of their cards, and when they try to cancel, they can't get in touch with anyone. Now, I don't know if this is true. I'm not making allegations. I'm just repeating what people have said to me, all right? And emails and the lots. And so Copper says, I will unlock your DNA codes for $5. Right, okay? It's also crazy. So with that all been said, let the lesson here be learned, beloveds. Don't believe everything that you hear. And don't believe people who are sitting there telling you things they don't even know what they're talking about. Do your own research. That's what I've been telling you all for years. Do your own research. Even if I tell you something, go and do your own research. If somebody's sitting there telling you they've been studying spirituality for years, and then they say there's codes in the Bible and that the Bible is coded and it takes a very competent person to uncode it, decode it, but they sit there and call it algorithms. Algorithms is what they use on social media. You know, certain words that we use, such as the word I replace with venom, when I'm talking about stupid 19, I say those words because YouTube has an algorithm. Algorithms has nothing to do with the Bible. It's called allegories. So when someone is teaching you stuff and you're paying $144, however much money you're paying, and they're giving you misinformation because they don't know what they're talking about, because they didn't bother to research, all they did was sit there and spew someone else's talking points from what they could remember. And in fact, they winged it. Now, in some of that webinar, you could clearly see in some of the clips that Wig was clearly winging it. She had no idea what she was saying. She's just making up stuff as she went. And some of you all knew that because you put in the chat, somebody said she's making it all up. Yes, this is what they do. They wing it. You see, just like when we saw that video that I showed you all of her and Brother Ben X, when they were sitting there, I'm sorry, not Brother Ben X, it was another lady, a lady who joined her live on Instagram. When she was sitting there and the lady asked her if she could astral project. And she said, she looked like she was taken aback. She says, she gonna ask me that on live, y'all. That was a stall tactic. Whenever someone acts that way, when you ask them a simple question without just answering it, if they say, and all of that, they're stalling. Okay, is a filler word. It gives you time to think of what you want to say. When someone asks you a question, you have to be like, oh, she asked me that, y'all. Or you have to repeat the question back to them. You're stalling, okay, because you're trying to think of what to say. And that's what Wig did. And then when she gave her definition of astral projection, she was clearly wrong. She was clearly wrong. It made no sense, and she didn't make sense, and she can't make it make sense. But another thing is this. I find it all very interesting because you see one thing, yes, that's really fake it till you make it. Absolutely. Absolutely. You know, one thing about Wig and her people, it reminds me of this. Let me see if I can pull this up. Let me see if I can pull this up. Because this reminds me of Wig and her folks. Let me pull this up real quick. Likes up, everyone. Please like and share, subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already. Thank you in advance. Okay, I'm going to go to this video here. Here we go.
So just to add to my thought, here's the issue, okay? This is really not about Beyonce or anything else for that. The reality is, okay, and I said what I said, so still all facts, okay? But the reality is that this is more about the fact that, like, there's a lot of hypocrisy and there's a lot of nonsense. So we've got Pharrell, who did an interview, I think last year, talking about artists' rights and how people should be able to rework their deals and artists should be getting credit for what they've done and all this stuff. Where in reality, when I was signed to him, I had the same manager that he had, and he has writing credits on my records, okay? All my singles, coincidentally. And he never wrote a song, a lyric a day in his life, okay? And so, yeah, that's a problem. Number two, we've got Beyonce, who, like I said, out of human decency and artistry and female, just all of the stuff she sings about, all this empowerment and stuff, I don't talk about it, I am about it, okay? So the reality is, all of this female empowerment, it only counts if you really do it. If you're really living it and walking the walk. Don't just talk the talk. It's real cute and fun to sing all these girls' songs. Like, come on now. Let's be real, all right? And then thirdly, you want to talk about Pharrell talking, oh, because I'm happy. I'd be happy too if I was stealing all kinds of folks' publishing and rights to songs and all kinds of stuff. I actually really wouldn't be happy because it's evil. But the point is, okay, is that there's a lot of hypocrisy and someone has to talk about it and bring it up. And it just so happens that I was thrown in this. This is not like I looked for it. I was actually last night, I was posting on my Bounty and Full page, just doing my own thing. And then I saw one of my fan pages and someone was like, oh, that's a collaboration between B and Khalees. No, it's not a collaboration. It's called thievery because the collaboration, the definition of collaboration, it means that we are working together. There's no working together if you are not even checking to see if everything's cool. That's a problem, okay? I would never do that to another artist. For real. I never have, I never would. Why? Because what's the point? If I like it so much, why wouldn't I just be like, yo, I really like it. Can I use it? What's that? Like, whatever. That doesn't happen, right? It's nonsense. Because some people, I don't know what they think. I don't even care. The point is, something has to be done about it. I'm not just going to talk about it. I'm not going to pop off all the time. I'm saying what I have to say because it's true, okay? But I do think that something needs to be done. It happens to a lot of artists. It happens all the time. And I think that really something needs to change. And this just might be the fuel that I needed to actually do it. Because honestly, I try to keep to myself and stay out of the drama. But if it keeps coming to me, what else am I going to do, right? That's all. So say what you want to say. I don't really care. Peace.
Okay, so that wasn't quite the video that I wanted to show, but Khalees, now the reason she was going on that whole rant, she said it's about thievery. So she's saying that Pharrell and Beyonce just took her song, didn't ask her permission or whatever, and Pharrell's getting paid for writing the lyrics, which she claims he didn't write. Now the whole thing is this. She said that some of the Beehive were saying that she's a hater and that she's jealous of Beyonce. The video that I was looking for was the one where she said it's nothing to do with jealousy. It's about thievery, like she said on here. You know, someone taking her work without even being decent enough to tell her about it. Well, that's what Wig does. She's full of thievery. She steals people's talking points, okay? And doesn't even bother to give you so much as a shout out, all right, as I've proven time and time again. And the thing is this, when you go in on her and expose her and call her out for the things she's actually absolutely done, her Beehive, like the Beehive, will sit there and say that you're jealous and that you're a whole hater. That was my purpose for showing that. And at the end of the day, we all know that Wig copies everything from Beyonce. Remember that song that she sang, You Must Not Know About Me? Didn't she sing that? Let me see if I can find a couple of those. Hold on. Likes up, everyone. Please like and share. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already. Thank you in advance, beloveds. Okay, so, and also, let me just put the, hold on. I'll put this in the chat in just a moment. So let me see if I can pull this up because I absolutely have it in my phone. Likes up, everyone. Please get the likes up. Thank you in advance. Now I'm going to play this audio. Oh, and something else that I have to talk about. I almost forgot. Hold on. This is it. Listen to this. This is Wig. Hold on.
A new foundation, a new vibration, yeah, that's what she said. You can't break my soul, you can't break my soul.
See, she's always trying to imitate, and emulate Beyonce. That's why she was singing that song that Beyonce remade. And also, on another video that I showed you all, she was singing the other song, You Must Not Know About Me. You see how she copies Beyonce? And then she was even playing Beyonce's song in the webinar. And then she calls her people the V-Hive, which is a play off of Beehive. She has no original thoughts in her head ever. That's all I'm saying. I think I've more than proven that. But hold on. There's a few more things that I want to show you all. All right? Very pertinent information because let's get into it. So here's the thing. Wig herself. I want y'all to pay attention. Wig started talking about agents, right? Did she not talk about agents? She implied that Angel, I believe that's who she was talking about. Who else could she have been talking about? She clearly started talking about and calling people agents when they were speaking against her nefariousness and calling her out on all of her BS. And so with that all being said, let's talk about agents. Because here's the thing. How is Angel an agent when she helped build Wig's brand? Let's get into it because I got receipts and I got time today. We're going to see who's the agent. That's what we're going to do. Now, let me pull these up in order because I have several of these screenshots. Let me see where I should start. Okay. I may have these out of order, but just bear with me. Y'all can still see what I'm talking about. This chat is acting crazy. Hold on. See if I can get the chat back together. Okay, there we go. So now, let me share the screen. Likes up, everyone. Please like and share. We're almost done. This is getting a little long. You see that? Can you all read that? I hope you all can read that. I'm going to read it to you. It says, and this is from Wig. It says, wow. This is what she sent to Angel Love. Wow, gorgeous. What would be on the back with V-Hive on the front? Would that be on the back with V-Hive on the front? Hold on. Matter of fact, that's not. I want to show you what I'm talking about. It's her T-shirts. Now, these are the T-shirts that Angel Love was telling her that she needed to start selling. But Angel's the agents? Yeah, we're going to get into it. Hold on. Let me pull up these T-shirts. Because I do have pictures. Here they go right here. Yeah, there they go. That's the first one. Now, if somebody's an agent, oh, I'm sorry, I already had it showing. If somebody's an agent, I doubt very seriously they would be trying to help you build your brand. That's the first thing. We're going to dispel this silly myth and debunk it today right here. Anybody calling Angel Love an agent, they better have some receipts. Otherwise, they need to be quiet because that's absolutely slander. That's slander, whether they know it or not. All right? So with that all being said, listen to this. See these T-shirts right here? I hope you all can see that. Let me just make it a little smaller so you can see. These are the T-shirts right here. All right? So it says, good afternoon. Here are the edits. Let me know if you like anything or want any more changes made. Then Wig replies, wow, gorgeous. Would that be on the back with V-Hive on the front? Pay attention. So let me pull up the next one so you can see the rest of what you said. Likes up, everyone. Please like and share. Also, here's another picture of some of the T-shirts. Awesome. Do you think we should include my website? Also, I'd like to make a proposal with you on the V-Hive apparel. Perhaps sometime of partnership. I'm busy now, but I want you to know my thinking on it. So she was literally asking Angel to be a partner with her. And here's the shirt she wanted. She wanted this on the shirts. Her face. How narcissistic. Who wants to walk around with the face of her on their shirt? I absolutely cannot with Wig. But anyway, I digress. So let me pull up the next receipts. I think this may be it. No, that's not it. Hold on. Let me scroll down a bit. I think this is it. Yeah, that's it right there. Okay. And so let me zoom in. And so she says, would this be on the front with V-Hive on the, would that be on the back with V-Hive on the front? And then Angel says, I completely removed the V-Hive altogether. I didn't think you wanted that on there. I'm sure you can have whatever you wanted. If you want front and back, that's perfectly fine. Just tell me how you want it. He's just doing the logo. If you like them, the printing of the shirts, I haven't asked him about that because I was thinking you would do it on F&Q. Tell me how you want it and I'll make it happen. And then Wig says, yes, ma'am. I want the V-Hive emphasized. I only wanted my pic and the name on there, someone to familiarize folks with who they are. Okay? That's what she said. Do you want everything on one side or something on the front and something on the back? How do you want it? How do you want the V-Hive to look? So that was the conversation about the shirts. Now, would somebody who's an agent be helping you with your brand and doing all these things for you? I'm sure they wouldn't. But here's the main thing. You all remember that Angel had put Wig on her insurance policy. Would an agent put you on their insurance policy? Look at this. Here's the insurance policy. Now, some of the things, the names and important things have been redacted for privacy reasons, of course, even though Wig put Angel's information all over the internet. That's agent behavior. Okay, so there it says coverage amount is $200,000. Name right here says Vicky Dillard. It literally says Vicky Dillard. You all see that, right? So talk about somebody being an agent wig. How could she possibly be an agent when she literally got an insurance policy worth $200,000 and put your name on it? Make it all make sense. I'm sure you cannot. And let me just tell you all what I happen to think. I happen to think, and I could be completely wrong, but I happen to think, so do a few other people that have discussed this with me. We happen to think that the reason that Wig severed ties with Angel is because Angel put her name on that insurance policy. And nobody knew that Wig was on the insurance policy except her and Angel. Nobody knew. Not even Angel's family and friends knew. Nobody knew that Wig was on a $200,000 insurance policy that Angel put her name on. Nobody knew that but Wig and Angel. So with that all being said, I feel that maybe, just maybe, Wig severed ties with Angel so that if Angel mysteriously came up dead, she could collect that $200,000 and nobody'd be the wiser, because she could always say, well, I haven't spoken to her in months. I severed ties with her months ago. That's just what I think. Now, I could be wrong, but anybody who's a pathological liar and what I call a sociopath, that's my opinion. It's not a fact. At least I don't know it's a fact, but it's my opinion. I don't put anything past them. That's all I'm saying. Make it all make sense. But somebody wants to be alluding to the fact that Angel's the agent. And here's another thing. I'm sorry. Didn't Wig, in fact, post all of Angel's private information? Did she post all of her information all over the internet? That's agent behavior. And here's the thing. What agents for the feds would give anyone their social security number, their birth date, their full-on address? Who does that if they're an agent? Make it all make sense. Only a fool would even imply such a thing, or someone that's an agent. Only an agent or a fool would imply such a thing. That's all I'm saying. Wig. All I'm saying. Hold on. Now, let me see here, because I'm trying to find this other receipt real quick. And likes up, everyone, please like and share. What, somebody's hating on her? Please miss us all with it. It's clear to see who the hater is. And those who deny it are just haters themselves, agents themselves, are just people who sip the Kool-Aid. Take your pick. Take your pick. Now, I'm trying to see if I can pull up this other receipt on Wig. Hold on. Likes up, everyone. Please like and share. Please like and share. Now, because here's the thing. I've already shown you all this, but I was looking for it again just to prove my points. I don't want to do a bunch of scrolling. So, hold on. Hold on, beloveds. Yeah, I don't see it. I'm not going to keep scrolling because she posts every day. So literally it would take me forever to find it. But I was trying to find where she still has Angel Love's personal information on her Facebook page and other places on her social media. Okay. She literally posted that stuff and said that Angel was, she posted the article, the so-called article or whatever, that was clearly fraudulent. And that's already been proven. And you'll all find out more about that later, as I keep telling you, but posted this thing saying that Angel was a fraud, that she conned somebody out of $10,000. She posted that. So how's Angel an agent? I'm sorry. You called her a fraudster, but now she's an agent. You said you posted something on your website that said that she was a whole fraud. Isn't that what she said? I believe it is. She said that Angel had gone on a date with some guy she met on the internet on a dating site, went out with the man, gave him a blunt that made him fall asleep, and then The man passed out, and when he woke up, $10,000 was missing. Isn't that what she posted on her YouTube community tab and all of that? I just don't want to be scrolling all day, but I really want to prove my point. Y'all know the queen loves to prove points and show these receipts. You see, this is what she did. And I don't know if she knows it. I don't see how she does it because I know she can't be that dumb and stupid. But I don't know if she knows and understands that that's absolutely slander, defamation, and libel. Now, she can sit there all she wants and say that she didn't create that post herself, and maybe she didn't. Maybe someone she got to do it did it, or maybe someone she knows did it. Nevertheless, she posted it, which still is slander. You see, because you can't even just go around posting and saying things that you don't know that are true, even if you got the information from somewhere else. That's why when I have things that I can't substantiate, I say, I can't substantiate this. I'm not saying this is true. I say that, right? Look at this. Look at this. Her little friends. Pay attention. I'm about to show this and pull this up. More receipts from the foolish members of the Vicky Nation crew. Some of them are so foolish. Look at this. Somebody named Cool Keezy talking about, if you post a private conversation to the internet, that's snitch behavior. I can't believe y'all out here doing that. Talk black to me. Yeah, somebody needs to talk to you, period, because you sound like a fool. I can't believe. Here it is right here. There we go. There we go. But she's calling Angel Love an agent. Really? Wig? That's what you're doing? Hold on. Hold on. Hold on. Let me go back to the share. Now, I forgot how I found this last time. I think I had to click on Angel's face. There we go. Now, pay attention. This is who she calls an agent. Now, mind you, how can Angel be both? This is how you know Wig is lying. This is how you know she's all cap. Is Angel an agent or is she a fraudster, Wig? All right? Now pay attention. Here's what it says. Beware of Angel Love, a.k.a. Angel Lovett, a.k.a. Lucretia Lovett. Y'all, I ain't going to let y'all forget. I'm going to stay on Wig's head because the more she lies, the more I'm going to keep exposing. And I have to go back and remind people of some of the lies that she's told because she's told so many. I'm sure you forgot some of them. But here's one. She said, says dating scams 101. So would a federal agent for the government be a scammer and a fraudster? Well, if they are, that would mean that Wig could be one. Pay attention. I'm just saying. Okay? So, yeah, that's pretty much what it said. Okay? So, and then there's a clip or so and whatever. Okay, I can't pull that up right now. That just goes to another link. But anyway, you all get the gist of what I'm saying. So she's out here saying that the girl's a fraudster who met a guy on a dating app. She posted this herself and saying that clearly insinuating or implying that Angel's a whole fraudster. This is what Wig posted all over the internet. But she now wants to call Angel an agent. You know why she wants to imply that Angel's an agent? I'm so glad you asked, because that whole little fraudster bullshit didn't work. You see, it didn't work. So she had to change the narrative. She had to come up with something else. And I've told you numerous of times, the first people that call people agents, when you just say something about them that they don't like, even though they talk trash about everyone else. And it's okay for them to talk trash about people that they don't like, but nobody better not say anything about them. You know why they call people an agent? Well, 9 times out of 10, it's because they're an agent. And I'm not saying that Wig's an agent. I'm just saying she has agent-like behavior. I mean, if you're so covert and practice such counterintelligence or covert tactics as having your own subscribers and moderators go and flag people's channels, spam people's channels, and do all this underhanded, low-down, dirty work, that's all agents' behavior. Who did she learn that from? The feds, Wig? I'm so curious. But you want to call somebody else an agent. Let's get into it. Yeah, let's absolutely get into it. And like I said again, and I'll say it again, Angel put her on a $200,000 life insurance policy. What agent for the federal government does that? I think Wig was going to have Angel knocked off. That's my assertion. That's my opinion. I can't substantiate it. I can't say it's true or false, but I do think so. I think that's why she severed ties with her. That's just me. And if she is, in fact, an agent, she would likely be able to do that and get away with it because, after all, agents get away with all sorts of things, don't they? That's why they're agents. Now, let me continue. So, with that all being said, the debunking of Wig is what this is. All right? Let me find this other post that Wig posted herself where she was calling someone else an agent. Okay? She was calling someone else an agent. I showed this to you before, but just to refresh in your memory, because if she's calling Angel an agent and she's also calling her subscribers an agent, that makes her seem more like an agent than anyone. That's all I'm saying. Make it make sense, Wig. I'm sure you cannot. And I'm doing all of this and going hard in the paint on Wig because someone whom I think Wig got to do it, called me and threatened me. And I played you all the audio, and I'm going to play it again because I'm still mad. And I will not be deterred. It's only going to make me go harder on Wig to prove my points and to prove her nefariousness. That's all it's going to do. It's not going to stop anything. It's not going to stop anything, Wig. Your scare tactics, none of it works. Talking about your legal team, none of it works. Okay? I don't need a whole legal team because I clearly can't afford a legal team. I'm not OJ, but I can't afford an attorney, and I have one. So miss me with it. All right? Miss me with it, Wig. Let's see how tough she talks when she's getting sued for all that scamming she did to the people in those webinars, promising things that she knew she couldn't deliver on. Clearly nefarious. Hold on, I'm looking for this other screenshot. Everyone, please, in the meantime, get the likes up. Here it is right here. Here it is, as luck would have it. The Queen has found it, so let me send this to my email so I can share it on the screen. I'm going to prove my point today, honey. That's what I'm going to do. Absolutely. I will prove my point if I do nothing else, by hook or by crook, because that's what the Queen does when you're the Queen of Receipts, which Wig wishes she could ever be. How can you be the Queen of Receipts but you never have any? I'm just curious. Make it all make sense. I'm sure she cannot. So anyway, here's the last receipt for today, and after this, I'm out of here because I don't have time to keep going on. Well, actually, I do have time, but I'm getting kind of hungry. All this talk about frauds making me work up an appetite. To be perfectly frank and honest with you, beloveds. Okay? And so let me pull this on up because I will prove my point one way or another. Here we go. Now check this out. We're calling everybody agents, Wig, so anyone who says something against you is an agent. Are you serious? Pay attention. Let me make sure you all can see that. Okay, let me pull this up. This last receipt for today. See, that's Wig. All right? Now this person, L. Edwards, commented on her post and said, just apologize to those old people who lost their homes. We will forgive you, but you have to apologize first. Well, that sounds reasonable enough. I've said the same thing. Give atonement. As the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan teaches, give atonement. She hangs out with all the Nation of Islam. She should know about atonement. And this is what Wig replied to L. Edwards. Stop promoting lies, beloved. You're telling on yourself. Don't be an agent. That's what she told one of her own subscribers. She said, don't be an agent. So now, Angel Love is an agent. I'm an agent. Her subscribers are agents if they speak against her, or former subscribers. Well, I think my job here is done for the day. So, but before I go, hold on. Let me play the audio again of the thug that threatened the Queen. Yeah, hold on. Put my glasses right back on. Let me play the audio of the thug that threatened the Queen. And here's the thing, just so you all know. Oh, and also I need to show you all another document. I'm going to put the link to this document in the chat. So, hold on. Hold on, let me pull this. Who do you think you're talking to? Who is this and how did you get my phone number?
Don't worry about that. You better want people keep his name out your damn mouth. Stop coming up with these big ass receipts and shit on her and all of this shit. You know, you're holding up a lot of progress. Why don't you just stop it while you lay?
First of all, the receipts are fake. And at the end of the day, I don't give a damn about you calling me trying to make your little idle threats. I'm not scared of you. And I'm going to keep on going in on Wig. So I don't know what you think you're going to do about it. But I tell you what, anybody that run up on me, baby, I already got something for that. So you can keep those. At the end of the day, don't call my damn phone no fucking more. Period. Yes, Queen Ahmadiyyah. Who the fuck is this? How come you can't say who you are? How come you can't say who you are? Don't call my damn phone no more. Oh, you see, that's why I'm going to stay on Wig's neck. That's why I'm going to keep my stiletto on Wig's neck. Because I absolutely cannot. People calling me, threatening me, and that's the second time, not the first. And let's not forget, someone called Angel Love too. But Angel's the agent. Please miss us with it. Someone called Angel about 3 weeks ago when her and Wig first fell out. It was the same day, mind you, that Wig posted those nefarious lies, alluding to the fact that Angel was a fraudster who met someone on a dating app, stole their cash after giving them a blunt that was laced with something. Same day. In fact, that was posted 10 minutes after Angel got the call from the thug that was calling, talking about Wig. Make it all make sense. So we're the ones being harassed and threatened, but we're the agents. Her subscribers who don't want to be bothered with her anymore, who would simply ask her to give atonement or apologize to the elderly Black people, the FBA people that she left out on the streets homeless, the lady whose check that she forged for $130,000 left that woman so homeless she had to go into court and try to sue and file a former pauperist. She had to pack up her stuff and move from Colorado back to Baton Rouge. But she wants to call that person an agent. Yes, she's dangerous, Terry. She absolutely is. Pathological liars are always dangerous because they believe their own foolish lies, and they'll do anything and everything and stop at nothing to get what they want. And I absolutely believe that if Angel hadn't got out of it when she did, that she might be somewhere in a ditch. So we could collect that $200,000. And again, I can't substantiate this. This is just my opinion. Okay, I don't know if Wig was actually plotting that or even if it was ever on her mind, but that's what I think. I put nothing past these type of people. And in fact, remember, one of the documents that I showed you from the government itself said that she was remanded into the state custody federal custody because she was dangerous. I showed you the receipts. It said she was a danger to public safety. Now, she said on a video that she posted on Fly Nubian Queen years ago when she talked about her time in the feds, she said they remanded her into custody because they said she was a flight risk. Well, that's not what the paperwork said from the courts. It said that she was a danger to public safety. So she's absolutely dangerous as far as I'm concerned. And so if you're dangerous, according to the government itself, I absolutely think you might plot a murder. I don't put anything past those types of people, and neither should the government. That's why they put her in custody so quick, according to them. Now I'm going to drop this link for those of you who want to file the lawsuit. Like I said, you can email me at ShakurAhmadiyyah@gmail.com. It's my name backwards, ShakurAhmadiyyah@gmail.com. But I'm also sending you the link to the Federal Trade Commission's page. You see, because you can report people like Wig who have these things where they don't, promise you things and charge money and don't go through with it. Now I'm going to conclude this broadcast because it looks